Hey guys, I'm going to do a Neo Geo review of Stakes Winner. This is an original copy of the game being played on my Omega Entertainment machine in component video. This is a really fun racing game. I never thought I would get into horse racing as much as I have with this particular game. These games, horse racing games, are bigger in Japan, and there were two that were released, this one and the sequel for the Neo Geo. This is one I've come back to many times. If you have your system set to AES mode like I do here, then you can pick from 4 difficulties. You could put up to 4 letters in for the name of your jockey, and then, which will be displayed after each race, and then you can pick your horse. And your horse, kind of like a car in another game, has different statistics: speed, stamina, and strength. Speed is how fast they run, stamina how long before they tire out, and strength how quickly they can run uphill on some of the tracks. And you can kind of play around and see which one you like. Be Silent is always good, and I think US Fighter has really good speed. And over the course of the races, you can upgrade your horse by having him kind of compete in these little training sessions. The game uses 2 buttons like you see here. You basically tap A non-stop for a steady pace run, and you press B to use the whip, and that increases his acceleration, but it also tires him out faster. Your horse has a life bar. If your horse runs out of power, if his life bar runs out, he'll get tired and you'll be disqualified from the race. So the game is all about balancing how fast you need to go with how much track you have left before you get to the finish line. It's a really fun game. It's different from other racers in that way because you have to kind of keep an eye on your horse's stamina, like I said, and you have these different tracks. I think the game is maybe 12 tracks long, and you get a couple bonus tracks if you finish in first place on a couple of races. You have, like you see here, different conditions on the track from time to time. Now, what's really useful, I'm player 1 obviously down here, so I can use my whip on the horse on this first short track. You can win pretty easily. I'm pressing A, and I'm going to press B to whip him a little bit more. You see your horse's icon down there, his head. If you whip him too much, now not in this first race, but if you whip him too much, he'll start shaking his head, and that's your cue to stop whipping him and go back to just the regular A button, the regular pace run, so he doesn't tire out, because he will stop if you whip him too much. And after the race is over, I'm not a big horse race guy, although I will tune into the Kentucky Derby and Belmont and some of those things. But it gives you the stats and where you finished. And if you finish first, second, or third, you're allowed to go on to the next race. And you get money for first, second, third place wins based on the position that you finished in. So the game saves if you have a Unibios 3.2 or higher installed, your high score. So you can play the game and try to play through the 10 or 12 races to see how high your score can get up to. Each track, for the most part, gets a little bit longer than the last one. And so you really have to kind of watch how much you're whipping your horse, because whipping your horse, in addition to making you run faster and potentially tiring out your horse, uses your life bar faster. Now you see what I'm doing here? I think that would be a foul in regular horse racing, but if you press toward, you can do a headbutt, and it really slows up the other racers. Kind of the key to winning the game that I've found is if other racers get too close, you press toward. You have different icons on the track like you saw there. I'm not sure what the exclamation point does. I think maybe it freezes your life bar for a little bit so that it doesn't go down quite as fast. You have, like you saw in the first race, these wings that give you a temporary boost like a mushroom in Mario. You have carrots that will refill some of your health bar, and then you have bad icons also that will slow you down like poison or moles, and you have a question mark one also that will be kind of random. It might be something good that you get or something bad. But the game is, like I said, it's really fun because it's different. It's not the type of thing I think a lot of players would initially be drawn to. I had picked up this cartridge years ago and just said, well, let me give it a try and see if I can beat the game. And it's one of the Neo Geo games, 10 or so, that I currently have because I didn't want to sell it because I keep coming back to play it from time to time. So I'll play through one more race here. So you see again, I'm trying to headbutt my guys out of the way, and as I'm playing, I'm steadily alternating. I'm always tapping A, but for a few minutes, I'll give him a few taps with the whip. Get him going to watch. I'll see if I can show you his head. Watch his head shake down here. So I'm whipping him so much, he may not like that in a minute. Although this horse seems to be pretty strong, so a lot of times they won't like. Now I'm really whipping him good to make him run. Now there's the wings, so I'm easily going to win this one. But I do got to watch out there at the end. If my power goes down before I hit the finish line, he'll stop and you won't be able to finish the race, and you'll lose sometimes at the end. Sometimes the game comes down to did you have enough energy to make it to the end? You might have been way out in front, but if you don't have the energy, then your horse won't finish. But anyway, guys, that's basically it. This is a game I really like. If you're interested in something different from the fighters and some of the other games for the Neo Geo, then I would highly recommend Stakes Winner as kind of an unorthodox racing game. It is a racing game, a horse racing game, but a fun one. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.